And the newspaper hardly mentioned it at all. The car was going 80 when it slammed into a wall. The whole front crushed in, and the steering wheel nearly went through him. It just nearly went through him. They say his body parts was all over the place. My daughter, she was in the car with him. She lived. She was pretty well banged up. A few broken bones, but she lived. That boy, let me make it plain. He was a no account, no good waste of a human being. And what happened to him, I am not sorry. He played with the devil, and the devil took his revenge. That boy, all he did is fed my daughter lip and stuff. People would say, "Why is your daughter so bad?" I didn't think she was bad. It was just what he was feeding her that was making her act strange and do things and say things that she normally wouldn't say or do. Just like the time I tried to talk common sense to her, and she tried to beat me up. I didn't pay it any mind. As a mother, I knew what I had to do. I knew the solution. And when there's a solution, there's a plan or problem. I did what I always would have done. When I'm faced with a trial, or when I'm faced with a tribulation, I prayed. I prayed for her, and I prayed on him. I prayed hard. I prayed 2, sometimes 3 times a day. I would fall on my knees and I would just cry out, "Lord, help my life. Lord, I need you, Lord. I need thee. Oh, I need thee." I prayed because I knew that the devil had a strong grip on her. He wasn't about to turn her loose. But I prayed and I prayed. But God, he heard my cry. He touched that boy. He touched him real good. And he touched my daughter too. He gave her a second chance. He gave her the opportunity to get her life together. I told her that. And now she understands. My daughter, I named her Novella. When Novella comes out of that hospital, she's going to be a different woman. She's going to have a new walk. And it's all because of the power of prayer. The power of prayer. I don't know about you, but I need it. I need it every hour, every minute, and every second. I need thee. Oh, I need thee
going to do it. When you go to church, don't you get tired of turning to your neighbor? You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to you. When I go to church, I don't turn. What I got to turn for? You heard the preacher. You right there next to me. I can just do that because they ain't got nothing to say at that particular moment. Turn to your neighbor and say neighbor. And then when you do it, you have to sound just like him. Turn to your neighbor and say neighbor. And what if you sit at the end and you ain't got no neighbor? Who do you turn to then? I remember I was in a church a couple weeks ago and the preacher kept on preaching, and he really wasn't really preaching word nothing, because you know some preachers can't preach. I ain't gonna don't act like I'm the only one. You've been there. Then he gonna talk about y'all to get this on y'all way home. I said, then why did we come? I could have stayed home if I was gonna get it on my way home. You could email me the sermon. It wasn't even that good. If Jesus had gave it to him, he couldn't have preached it. I'm telling you, some preachers need to sit down. There must be some preachers in here. Don't be afraid. You can talk about it if it's the truth. It's the truth. That's what's wrong with America now. We don't hear the truth. We got an idiot. We got a man in the. You know. Well, some of y'all voted for him. Don't act like I didn't. I voted for Gary Johnson, but that was my cousin. He is my cousin, you know. But I'm just saying, times are just changing, and that's what the problem is. We just don't tell people the truth. When I was a kid, you could be told the truth anytime, any place, anywhere, like anybody. Now, we don't tell people the truth. We try to, everybody gets a trophy. Have you seen that? Everybody gets a trophy no matter what. No! If you lost, you don't get a trophy. You go home, get ready, come back the next year, try it again. You're not getting a trophy. Matter of fact, I won't even let my kids bring in a third or fourth place trophy. Can't bring them out. I feel like preaching now. That's what's wrong with America, giving everybody something for nothing. You need to put in the effort. There's only one Super Bowl ring. You think Atlanta got one because they came so close? No! They got the playing upset. They should have been upset because they was up 28-3 and gave Tom Brady the Super Bowl championship. Tom went home to him, I can't believe how great that is. You're not that great. You only won 3. They gave you 2. I feel like turn to your neighbor. Just touch somebody. Touch somebody. I even got the band back. Is the band laughing? Because if they don't laugh, they're not going to play. I'm telling you now. I'll stay up here all night. I don't care what time this show is over. I don't care. I got too many things on my mind. Because these kids going crazy. I am 52 years old. I waited all my life to be Mr. Johnson. I'm serious. All my life. I wanted to be Mr. Johnson. But when I was a kid, you never called a little adult by their first name. It was Mr. McConnell, Mr. Williams, Mr. Jackson, Mr. Johnson. I come out of my house, I hear the kid talking, hey, Rocket! Calling me like he paying the mortgage in the house. I don't even respond. I keep on walking. Then the father had nerve to say, you hear my son calling you? No, I didn't hear him because he called me Rocket. He ain't old enough to call me Rocket. He only 9 years old. Maybe he called you by your first name, but he ain't gonna call me by my first name. I said that to myself. I just went on and answered and kept the peace in the neighborhood, you know. I work for Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, and about 5 years ago, I had some of my neighbors I grew up with on one of my cruises. And I was going to introduce them to the cruise director, and I went to the cruise director and I said, hey, Ken, I grew up with their son. They're on our cruise. And I was kind of lost because I didn't know what to call them because my whole life they were Mr. and Mrs. Walker. So I didn't want to, I'm grown now. I wanted to call them by their first and last name, but here it is. I was 48 at the time. I never knew their first name. That's amazing to me. I didn't know their first name. So I said, hey, Ken, these are my neighbors, Mr. and Mrs. Walker. And Mr. Walker shook his hand, took his hand out and said, Zachariah. I never knew his name was Zachariah. When I got off the cruise, I called my friend who I grew up with, Todd Walker. I said, Todd, I never knew your dad's name was Zachariah. He said, it is. Because that's the time we lived in. Because he was always dad to him. Never knew his first name. See, y'all didn't even know I was going to be this funny, did you? Because see, you got your good clothes on, and when you got your good clothes on, you get stiff. That's what's wrong. You get stiff when you get your good clothes on. Pass gas, let it out, release some tension. Relax, the night is still young. We're going to get our money's worth. I don't care about nobody else. I'm going to get mine. If don't nobody else get theirs, I'm going to get mine. I'm going to be like that person in church. You ever go to church and the only person that's saying amen is one person? They get mad. They're not worried about you looking all sophisticated. I went to a banquet about 3 months ago. I did a church banquet, and the people were just stiff. They were just stiff. And I said, you know what the problem is? They ain't got no Kool-Aid in here. Black folks don't respond until they get some Kool-Aid. Can't give us no tea that ain't sweet. got to have something with some sugar in it. And that's all I'm saying tonight. We don't have any sugar for you, but we got a lot of fire backstage. And if you will participate, I feel like preaching now, if you will just participate and go with us on this journey, I promise you that before the night is over, you will find something that you can attach yourself to. He sounds like a preacher. No, I'm an actor. I can sound like anything. I can even sound presidential, but I don't want to sound that dumb tonight. I feel it. Oh, that boy is good. Oh, good. You can raise whatever flag you want to raise if that's what you choose to do. But let me tell you something about the God that I serve. He is. Folks, we're going to have a good time. My name is Rodney Johnson. I'm going to be your host for the next 2.5 hours, maybe 3, depending on how y'all respond. I'm going to go over to the podium because we got some awards and we got some talented people. We got the band and we got all of y'all here. So let's, as Arsenio Hall used to say, let's kick it.
This award, we have an awesome opportunity here. When it comes to making people laugh, this man has a PhD in funny. From Baltimore, Maryland, he has been around the world a few times and back on top to do it all again. Comedy is just a natural calling for Rodney Johnson. And then there's never a day without a laugh, as you all had a chance to witness. Laughing is good medicine. Agape Theater Project presents a legendary Achievement Award presented to Rodney Johnson for your outstanding accomplishments in entertainment and comedy. Let's give him a hand.
First of all, I want to thank the Academy. I want to thank the people who felt that I was really a legendary achiever. You know what? I'm sorry. I want to thank God first. Everybody want to thank God first. Even the rapper, he talked about killing women, but I want to thank God for giving me those lyrics. But this is nice. This will go right next to my 3rd place trophy. The basketball league, because everybody gets the trophy. No, this is nice. Thank you, Kim, and thank you, Agape Theater, for recognizing me. Matter of fact, September is my 30th year. I started in September of 1987 in Dallas, Texas, and I'm having a 30th anniversary in Atlanta and in Dallas in November. So I thank you for the award. I just mess with y'all, but y'all don't know what to do. That's what happens when silence. Should we applaud again? We already applauded twice. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna be your MC. We're gonna do this thing, man. Look, let's look at it like this. Let's just act like we just family and we at the cookout, we got our shoes on, and people are gonna come up here and our family, they're gonna just talk. Coming up next, she's gonna sing a song. Please welcome Connie McCoy. Connie McCoy.
yourself. Just don't take too much from a man. I'm a man, but God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. Y'all put your hands together for Mr. Reginald Conway.
Voice? Yes. Come on. Conway Court has been a wooing audience for over 25 years, using wowing audiences over 25 years. Yeah, wow. Okay. And she is also an actress, and she's been in a lot of theater productions like Jitney, Raisin in the Sun, Color Purple, Black Nativity, Lesson Before Dying. What haven't you done? Right? Oh, we will do that. And she's also was a lead vocalist with Stanley Beard. And she's also been traveling around the state performing jazz and gospel and rhythm and blues. I want to present you with this award tonight. It's a Legendary Achievement Award presented to Connie McCoy for Outstanding Accomplishments, Stage, Film, Jazz Vocalist. Thank you.
Thank you so much to Agape Theater and for this awesome achievement. In all honesty, I forgot I was getting an award until this very moment. So thank you so much. It is so nice to be recognized for the work that we do. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Connie McCoy.
You want to hear what happened to me a few nights ago?
Yeah.
I got in late, like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Not really sure. I put my key in the lock, trying not to wake up my old lady. Man, I must not have been in the room long enough before she jumped up. Where you been? What dirty black bitch have you been laying up with? Making noise and all that. Now, I didn't know what she was talking about. That woman's always imagining things. Always making noise. Imagine I'm out laid up with some woman. Tell y'all the truth, I was with the fellas. Drinking, talking, doing a little gambling. Nothing too serious. Shooting a little dice to occupy the time. I wasn't with no damn woman. I didn't tell her that. She wouldn't think I'm some type of stud. Let her believe it. She thinks I'm some type of coxman. Hell, I don't mind. So when she starts to yell at me, y'all, I look at her, I say, none of your damn business where I've been. I go where I like and I live with who I please. And man, she started going wild, y'all. I'm talking kicking and punching. Now I'm sitting here amazed. Here this skinny, narrow woman was trying to knock me out with her fist. Trying so hard I had to grab her. Wrestle her to the floor. Kiss her. Calm her and tell her to settle herself down. Next moment, we would have our clothes off and we were doing it right there. After we were done, she gonna ask me, do you do it like that with them other bitches you see? I said, no, honey. You the only one that can excite me this way. She said, good. I'm glad. Because if I thought you did, I'd kill you. And that's a fact. And I'm like, this woman is crazy. I'm married to a crazy woman, y'all. But you know what? I love her. And that's a fact.
I don't know, man. That sounds a little crazy. That was his wife. I don't know. You doing it to somebody else? What kind of family they got over there? You feeling me? Were you feeling me? Was it me? Was it feeling me or was it just me? When you feeling me or was it just me? I listen to the words, like that Beyonce song, to the left, all your stuff is in the box, to the left. You don't know about me, he be here in a minute. That means she was messing around. Did y'all ever realize that? Everybody dances to the song, I'm like, Beyonce, she a hoe. She already got another man. How you gonna replace a man that was already in your house, put his stuff in the box and wait for the next dude to come and the other dude leaving the house? Guess what happens when women get jobs? My grandma ain't never act like that. Not Mary Wilson, She wouldn't act like that. She loved herself some Jane Wilson. You hear what I'm talking about? That's how she tell you, know I love me some Jane Wilson. He be sitting right there. You know I love me some Jane Wilson. Love me some Jane Wilson. How about another hand for G? Oh. We got a young man that's coming up next. He's going to sing for you. Put your hands together for Gerard Williams.
Their season, as we would not be here. Yes, it was our destiny. But how many times have you wished to be in spaces, time, places, than what you were? Yet who's to say that with unfamiliar faces you could anymore be loving you's loving me. You can only be you, and I can only be me. Ooh. I can only be me.
Did you not enjoy that? That was simply just beautiful. Gerard Williams, he's acting all over is what I found out backstage. He's doing a lot of work. So whenever you see his name coming to a play or a theater or big lights near you, remember you saw him here first. And then go out and make sure you support him, because that's what we do here at Agape. And at this time, I also want to let you know he's currently, I believe, down in Fayetteville, North Carolina, doing Dreamgirls. Is that right? Let's give him a hand. Absolutely. At this time, Gerard, we want to present you for your outstanding accomplishment in theater and music at this time. Thank you so much for your contribution. Let's give him a hand, everyone. Are you enjoying yourself? So those who already have received an award, let's give them a hand already. All the performers, and of course this great MC that we have, we just thank him. And of course, you know, I've been enjoying him. I want you to know that. And we're just having a good time. And you know what? Just hang on to your seats, because more is yet to come. And I'm just excited.
All right, is a window tab in the house? Come on down, window. Let's hear it for window tab. That's my idol. I mean, he does it right at Hillside High School. Is Mrs. Norfleet, you seen? Is Dr. Norfleet here? Okay, we'll move right on. Window, I've been admiring you for a long time, and you've been doing so much work in theater, and we just wanted to honor you tonight. And we want to honor you with the legendary award that's presented to you for your outstanding accomplishments in theater. You're everywhere, and your cast is everywhere. They're in professional theater now, and I just admire what you do with those kids over at Hillside. So tonight, we honor you. Mr. Wendell Tabb.
Thank you, Mr. Hinton, and to Agape, thank you very much. I always give honor to God, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because without him, I would not be able to do any of what I've been able to do. And because of the Durham community and all around the nation for supporting young people, thank you so very much. I've been at Hillside now 31 years, and I could not have been there that long in one place without the support of the community. So please come out and support us this year. They have a fabulous season. Disney's High School Musical. We're doing Martin Said So. We're doing Fences. And then Sindira by our own local playwright, Irvin Jewett. So come out, support the kids. They're excited. And we're excited to have a vibrant Durham community for the arts. So thank you once again, Agape.
And now we have another monologue from Miss Ayanna Johnson.
You know, I never used to like jazz. I don't mean that I hated it. I just never paid much attention to it at all. It's supposed to be real black music and all of us supposed to like it and revel in it, but it never did nothing for me. I mean, it was just musical noise like so many other things. Me, I like rock, rhythm and blues and gospel, but jazz, bebop, and fusion or all that other stuff, it's just something I could never get into. But Brandon changed that for me. He was this white guy I kind of brought into my apartment because he looked so pitiful and lost. And so skinny. Looked like he hadn't eaten in months. And by the way, he was pitiful and lost. But in a gentle way. We met because he came to my shop and asked if I had any work that he could do to make some money. I looked at this fellow, all dirty and raggedy, but good looking. And indigent, and I decided right then and there I was going to help him. I mean, there was work needed to be done around the shop, and then there was work around the apartment too. You know, like shelves that was broken, cabinets that needed to be cleared out, walls that could use some paint. And he did all of it, and then some. So I just kept asking him to come back. Even when most of the work was done, I'd find a reason to ask him to come back the next day, and the day after that. And the day after that. There's something about him. You know, we just got close, you know? Romantic and intimate. You know what I mean? He was like, almost like a saint or an angel. Or maybe like a child. I mean, he didn't talk loud. He was always grateful for what he got. He never asked for anything, but he was always grateful for what he got. I knew it wouldn't last. I mean, it couldn't. It was too good, too perfect, too special. So I didn't expect anything from day one. But it did last a lot longer than I expected. 3 weeks to be exact. But then one day, he didn't say anything. He just left. I mean, I wasn't upset. I knew it would come to that, and it did. He just wasn't from my world, you know, just passing through. But what I remember most about Brandon was his love of jazz. It's the only possession he carried around with him wherever he went. A bunch of CDs in his backpack. And no matter what he was doing, from working to making love, he always wanted that music playing in the background. You know, it wasn't until I heard it in a romantic context that I really knew how warm and subtle and sensual it was, you know? Now it's the only thing I listen to, and now my library has over 100 CDs in it, and it's growing bigger every week. So my new boyfriend, he asked me how I got into this jazz thing. I told him that I've been listening to it since I was a child. I mean, a woman's got to have some secrets, right? This one is definitely mine. You know, sometimes I think the only reason Brandon was brought into my world was to teach me how to appreciate the love of jazz. And for that, I will always be grateful to you, Brandon, wherever you are.
Yeah. How about another hand for y'all? Give a nice round of applause. A lot of y'all don't know this about me, but in 1989, I lived in Los Angeles, California, and I was in a poetry slam, and I took first place. And since you guys have been so beautiful, I'd like to give you my piece that I did in the poetry slam. Coffee. I like my coffee black. Did you get that? That was it. It's open to interpretation. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the band, New Vibe. Girl, you sang that like you was singing to me. You walking past me just like my ex-wife did. I ain't even done nothing to you. You can't even smile talking to you. You so into that song, you didn't know I was talking to you, did you? The spirit was moving in you, girl. At last. How about another hand for the lovely lady and the band, New Vibe? I wish I could sing a song. Sir, if I could sing a song, I'd sing a song. How come we just can't sing? Everybody should be able to sing a song. You ain't gotta be a good singer. Lionel Richie was never a good singer. What the heck is ow? You remember that? Ow, she's alright. How? That's like the mic guy. That's like the hang out first hanging out right. Y'all try to act like y'all sing. Y'all know who Lionel Richie is. He was with the Commodores back in the 70s. Oh, Lord have mercy. Y'all put your hands on your neighbor. Put your hands on your neighbor. And tell your neighbor, you ought to act like you know. Act like you know. Don't act like you've been saved all your life. Don't act like you've been saved all your life. You wasn't even saved yesterday in the gas station when that man cut you off. I didn't see no holiness in you. You ever see that? My aunt was like that. Every time you turn around, she'd be like, blast. Thank you, Jesus. Blast. Blast. Every time you see her, how you doing, Sister Jessie? Blast. One day she pulled up to the gas station. She said, oh, I'm running out of gas, Roger. We got to find a gas station. Because they used to call me Roger. Roger, we're running out of gas. Got to find a gas station. Then we found a gas station, right? There's a lady from her church getting gas. She said, you know what, the Lord sent me here. I said, stop lying. Lord ain't sent you here. You was out of gas. Hey, I got a book that I wrote. I'm going to be selling it when it's over. And I got a DVD, too. You can buy it. You can hear what it sounds like with 500 people in the audience. What you need, oil? Come on, folks. Come on. We trying to put this thing together. Come on now. Some of the jokes you might get, some of the jokes you might not get, but it's okay. It's okay. I know when y'all go home tonight, y'all will be like, you know what, that guy's funny. Because y'all gonna see me on television. Y'all just don't know it's me yet. You're gonna be sitting at television going, that's that guy. What's his name? I don't know, but he was at that show. So anyway, coming up next, she's gonna do a monologue. Put your hands together for Natasha Williams. Y'all give her a nice round of applause.
Good evening. How's everyone doing?
Good.
All right, all right. My name is Natasha A. Williams, and I am a proud native of Fayetteville, North Carolina. I currently live in New York City, and I've been living there for many, 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 many years. Back in the 80s, Prince wrote a song called Free. And some of the lyrics were, be glad that you are free. Free to change your mind. Free to go most anywhere, anytime. Be glad that you are free, because there's many a man who's not. Be glad for what you have, baby, what you got. When you hear the word free, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Anyone? Say it out loud because I can't see you. Slavery, good. Anyone else? Over here. Free. When you hear the word free, what comes to mind? Anyone else? Good. When you hear the word caged, what comes to mind? Anyone? Good. Anyone else? Caged, what comes to mind? Shackles, very good. I believe when Dr. Maya Angelou wrote this poem, Caged Bird, she had all those words in mind. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to leave you with this one nugget of truth. We are in a crisis for our freedom in this country. It's being challenged every day in in a myriad of ways. You know, when I walk the streets of Harlem, true story, I started to notice a lot of the young kids were walking around with their pants sagging low and always lit and high and not in school. And I used to think to myself, what can I say to them? I'm a grown woman. I need to say something to encourage these young brothers. This is not making any sense. This is disrespectful. This is not helpful to them. And God gave me these words. Don't let anyone take your freedom away. So I would see them walking by, and every day, standing on the corner, chilling, trying to be fly, and I would say to them, how you doing, baby? Don't let anybody take your freedom away. And I would walk away. Didn't take too many years for me to start seeing those pants coming up. Didn't take too many years for me to see them actually going to school and not skipping school, because they started to realize that a lot of their homeboys had their freedom taken away. So without further ado, it is my distinct pleasure to give to you Dr. Maya Angelou's Caged Bird. The higher you build your barrier, the taller I'll become. The further you take my rights away, the faster I will run. You can't deny me. You can't decide to turn your back away. No, 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 no. Something inside of me is so strong. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream till the current ends and dips his wings in the orange sun rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldomly see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So he opens his throat to sing. Something inside me is so strong. I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. See, all of my pride was gone. But something inside of me is so strong. Oh, something inside of me is so strong. A free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the sighing trees, and the fat worms waiting on a dawn bright lawn. And he names the sky his own. But a cage bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shout on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So he opens his throat to sing. A caged bird sings with a fearful trill of things unknown, yet hopeful still. And his tune can be heard on the distant hill, 'cause the caged bird sings of freedom. Thank you.
Ms. Natasha A. Williams. I want to tell you about Natasha. Have you seen the American Express commercial with Tina Fey? Well, the stewardess is Natasha in that commercial. Yes. We met at Fayetteville State University at a acting workshop. Been friends ever since, and she flew out here from New York to be with us. I am so grateful. And because of that, we're giving you the legendary Achievement Award, which is presented to Natasha A. Williams for your outstanding accomplishments in film, theater, and commercials.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And thank you so much, Mr. Hinton, for inviting me. It's always a pleasure, a distinct pleasure, to come back home. North Carolina will always be my home, and I'm proud of my state. I'm proud of all that we're doing and we continue to do in the arts, and continue to flourish and encourage children to keep pursuing your dreams. I'm from a mobile home in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I let nothing stop my dream. And I'm still dreaming. Don't let anyone stop your dream. You are who God has given you to be. So nothing can stop your dream. I thank you all. Thank you.
We are halfway done, y'all. Halfway, because in the second half of the show, we're going to introduce the Agape season. We're going to tell you the season of plays that we have planned for you, and they are very exciting. Right now, I want to introduce one of my students. She is already graduated from North Carolina Central University with a degree in theater, and she's been in several of my plays, and tonight she's doing a monologue. Her name is Mariah Williams. Give her a hand, please.
Being the fool that she was, she even went back for seconds, and thirds, and fourths, and fifths, until she said the magic words. And that man went running like somebody was firing bullets at him. I love you. That's what she said. She told the man, I love you, And when she asked him what was wrong, he said nothing. Nothing. And before she knew it, that man was gone. No message, no, nothing, just gone. And she had to fend for herself and pull her emotions back to where they belonged, and it wasn't easy. And it took a really long time, because fool that she was, she had actually allowed herself to fall in love with a man that never deserved to get the time of day from a clock. And now, 3 years later, I have to pretend as if I'm happy to see him. And tonight I have to cook dinner and serve this man as if he's family? Because according to my husband, they still best friends. I just hope I can hold it together, you know? I've never been the type of woman that was able to hold in her emotions. It never worked. Anything I feel or say, it just has a way of getting out, you know? But I'm gonna do my part, because that's all I can do. And, well, like I said, that's all I can do. But if a saucepan just so happens to fly upside his head tonight at dinner, that's just how it is. I'm just saying. I'm trying, okay? I'm working on it. Oh my goodness. 3 years. And now I have to pretend? Oh well. I guess that's the things that you get when you mess with a woman's emotions. At least a woman like me, anyway.
They're still investigating the shooting, so you might have to come back for that later. But your bond has already been paid for the disorderly conduct charge.
Well, hold up. What about my cousin? Ernest? Marks?
He's not in the system yet, but when he is, then his bail can be posted.
Well, what's the charge?
What's the charge? Nigga, this ain't a movie. You better wait till he's in the system.
We have a little problem.
What's that?
You have no rental history, and I was gonna pull your credit, but you can't pull what ain't there.
I was married for a long time, and my husband took care of all those things.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I understand. But we can't take that kind of risk here.
Officer, I can explain. Save it. Already received a call about 2 white girls breaking in a dorm. I'm throwing you off campus, and if you come back, there will be legal consequences. Understood? Let's go. I know it hasn't always been easy, but I want to commend you both on your willingness to seek out common ground during this process. It's an emotional time in your lives.
Excuse me. I'd like a moment alone with Charlie.
Davis, so far this has been an open process with open communication.
I know that.
This is beautiful.
Anything for a beautiful woman like you.
I must admit, I was a little nervous about tonight. This is the first time.
Don't worry, you're in good hands.
But I've never...
You've never eaten before? Just relax and enjoy yourself. I'm going to take care of everything. I know how to treat a lady like you.
Friends in Durham, North Carolina, I am so disappointed that I cannot be with you for tonight's Agape Theater fundraiser. I'm on location in the beautiful and historic Selma, Alabama, working on my latest film project. You know, when I think about legendary, I think about Dr. Martin Luther King, I think about Congressman John Lewis and Hosea Williams, Sr., who are very monumental in Bloody Sunday and really kicking off what changed the course of history and the Civil Rights Movement. I'm very thankful to Ken Hinton, the entire Agape Theater Fundraising Committee, and to all of you. This has been an amazing journey thus far in my career in film, television, and theater, and I feel like I'm just getting started. I'm almost too young to be given a legendary award, but I am thankful to God that He saw fit for me to gain favor in your eyes. Again, thank you so much.
Okay, let's hear it for Angela right quick.
You know, got to
always wanted to do that my whole life, man, just to stop the band, man. But hey, y'all give up for him, man. Let me know the great job all night. This is your comedy minute. I was sitting back there, Ken said, go out there and do 3 minutes. And I don't know why Ken think that comedy is something you can just kind of start and stop like an hour. You know what I'm saying? Go do 3, go do 5, go do 2, go do 3. But I'm good at what I do, so I can do it. I have no problem. Because here's the thing. That's why you always get paid. Because if they don't like you, you get to go cash the check. Thank you. 2 people ain't got that part of the joke. But people always ask me, they say it's a comic, where do these jokes come from? And I'm going to tell you really where they come from. They come from real life. I don't make a lot of stuff up. You know, I pay attention to my family. I got 4 kids. I got 2 possibles. Hey, I was in Germany, okay? Just in case. No, I'm just joking. I have 4. I had 2 biological kids and 2 kids I raised from a crazy woman. Come on, folks. The jokes are not going to always be easy. But I raised them since they were 5 and 6, so they're my kids, you know. People always say, why do you always call them your kids? Aren't they your step kids? I said, no, anytime you eat at my table, you mine. So when my mama-in-law come to my house, she mine too. That's right, I'm her daddy. You eat at my table. I feel like preaching now. When you eat at my table, I am the authority in my house. And somebody said, why do you always call it your house? I said, because Joshua said I could call it my house. Because in the Bible, he said, as for me and my thank you, y'all go to church. He didn't say my mama's house or my daddy's house. He said, as for me and my house. So that gives me the authority. It's in Joshua 24:15 if you want to look it up. I don't know all the scripture, but I know what that one is. I know what all the scriptures are that I can use to defend myself against somebody who attacks me. And sometimes when I don't know what the scripture is, I go to my favorite, Ephesians 4:29. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but words that may administer grace to the hearer. So if I'm losing a fight, I throw that one right up in there. So they got to stop. But the one thing that I believe is in raising my children in the old school way. And my son is 32 years old, and I love him. But I used to tell my kids, at 18, you're leaving. And they were 4 at the time. Because I believe in planting that seed early, and then it will blossom into a tree. And at 18, they know what to do, pack their bag. Now I have a big house in Atlanta, and nobody living there but my wife and I, and she's on waivers. I'm just letting you know that. Yeah, she on waivers, because she's been tripping. She's been tripping. I don't have time to tell you all that, but I'm going to tell you about my son. My son is 32 years old, and I raised him to the best of my ability to be a man, to stand on his own 2 feet. And he called me probably about a year ago. He said, hey, Dad, look, I'm going through some tough times. And he was living in Norfolk, Virginia. And he said, I was wondering if I could come back to the house and, you know, just to get myself together, regroup, figure out some things, and then figure out my next move. And you don't want to crush your children, so you can't just say no, but you want to say no, but you can't. So tonight I'm going to teach you how to say no without saying no. So I told my son, I said, son, when do you plan on coming? He said, well, my lease is up in 2 months, and I'm coming to Atlanta to do some looking around. So I was wondering if I could bring some of my stuff now so that when my lease is up, I don't have to move as much. And I said, son, you're my oldest. I love you. You're more than welcome to always come home. So he came. Drove, had a U-Haul truck attached to his Jeep, came and bought his stuff. And he got to my house around 6 o'clock, and I was getting ready to sit down and eat dinner, but I had not started. So when I heard the door ring, I said, oh, that's my son. So I got up and I went to the door, and I was very excited to see my son, because I hadn't seen him in a couple of years, because, you know, he's 32 years old. We don't get a chance to see each other. I travel a lot. And I said, son, don't take your stuff out of the U-Haul just yet. Why don't you come in and sit down and have some dinner with me? So my son came in. And he said, Dad, you know, I'm really shocked that you would let me come back, because I just knew. I was talking to Natalie. She said, you know, Daddy ain't going to let you come back. And when I called her and said that you said it was okay, she was like, I don't know. I think Daddy set you up, because they know how I am. And I said, son, I would never set you up. I'm your father. I'm always going to be your father. And I love you. So we sat down. And we ate, and I said, son, what is going on? What's going on in your life that you need to come back home to regroup? And he started telling me about his job and what he didn't like and what he didn't prepare for. And I told him to prepare, because sometimes if you don't prepare, they'll hire somebody who's unprepared to be your boss, and then you'll be mad, and that's what happened. So all these things that I told him when he was 17, 18, 19, 22, 25 are now starting to catch up to him, because he's 32 years old. He don't want to run the clubs like he used to. He want to get serious about his life, but now he's not prepared. So now he's feeling the effects of being unprepared, and he wants to come back to my house, a 32-year-old man, 6'4", 241 pounds, and stay in my house. And I want to tell him no, but I can't tell him no. So I sat him down, and I broke some bread with him. And I looked up at the clock, and it was about 8:05, 8:05. And I said, son, it's time for you to take a bath. He said, what? I said, it's 8:05. You know, when you was a kid, you lived here, you used to take a bath at 8 o'clock. So since it's 8 o'clock, I need you to go upstairs and take a bath. He said, Dad, I'm a 32-year-old man. I said, not in my house. No, you my child coming back home, and I don't mind bringing you back home, and I love you, so just go on up there and take that bath, and don't get in until I check your water. And he said, Dad, are you serious? I said, I'm serious as a heart attack. So he went upstairs, and he took a bath, and he was mad. I could hear him. He was splashing in the water. He was mad. I could hear him. He was a big dude, you know, and so he got in the bathtub, and I said, son, it's 8:30, and I need you to make sure you're in bed by 9. He said, Dad, you can't tell me when to go to bed. I said, I can when you come back to my house. I can tell you when to go to bed. So bedtime around here, whether you're 32 or 2, 9 o'clock. Then that joker went into the guest room. It used to be his room back in the day. He went to the guest room. He looked at me and said, Dad, this is getting crazy, man. I said, what you mean? He said, what happened to the queen size bed that used to be in this room? I said, that's for guests. When you used to come visit, you was a guest. Now you talking about moving back home. So I went into the attic and I got that old twin you used to sleep on. Yeah, he's 6'4", feet hanging off the bottom. He said, Dad, look at this, man. You got Batman and Robin sheets up again. Come on, Dad. I said, son, I love you, but I you know, if you're coming home, you know, I don't mind you coming home, but I got to take you back. And so he jumped in the bed. I said, hey, son, what are you doing? He said, I'm going to bed. He told me to be in bed 9 o'clock. I said, I know, but you got to say your prayers first. Get down on your knees, say your prayers. He said, Father God. I said, no, don't stay down. No, that's for 32-year-olds. Say the one when you was 2. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. You know the word. If I should die before I wake, I pray. That's right. And then I went to the door, and I said, you want me to keep it cracked? You keep it open. Then I went to touch the light and turn it off. And before I could turn it off, he said, Dad, if I move back here, how much money are you going to charge me to live here? I said, $1,250 a month. He said, Dad, if I give you $1,250 a month, I might as well stay where I'm at. And then I said, you get in that sense with a preposition. Good night. And I closed the door. Thank y'all, man. Y'all, get ready for another monologue.
You young people can't see it. I know. But this place right here, it used to be hot. It used to be jumping with life and music, with moving bodies covering every inch of this floor that you're standing on this very minute. Now, her and her husband Moses would supply the music, while every Friday and Saturday night, people would fill this place up just to hear them play. With him on the horn and her on the piano. Now, it wasn't nobody hollering in them days. Nobody. And she was a good-looking woman, too. Now, I know it's hard to recognize her now, though, but she used to be. Take my word for it. And he was, too. He was a tall, handsome figure of a man standing in the spotlight with his trumpet in his hand. And all the women want to get up close and personal with him, too. But all that talent and power. And most of them did, too. Now, Moses, he wasn't a man to deny a pretty woman of her desires. No, sir. He'd knock them down. Now, but where did it all go wrong? Who knows? Too much success in the beginning? Too much drinking? Or not enough attention paid to the business, I suppose. But whatever it was, somewhere, somehow, something did go wrong. Or maybe the novelty wore off, I suppose. But whatever it was, the people just stopped coming. And this place here turned into a ghost town, with only memories and echoes of the sounds that used to be. Now, Moses eventually, he turned to his drinking and then to his bed. And one day, Moses just expired. And that was it. And his trumpet set over in the corner, and the sounds that it made
was just memories now. Now, the old lady, she tries to run the joint. Well, or what's left of it. But she tries to run it, and it's taking a toll on her. I can see it, and so can you. Now, sometimes, just to please herself, the old lady, she would go up to the piano and she would play. And sometimes she would sing. But now, it ain't like it used to be. Her voice is gone. And the piano playing ain't what it used to be. Now, I know that it's just a matter of time when one of them is gonna go. Either her or the piano. You know, ladies and gentlemen, it's sad. That's all, it's just sad with all of that. But that too is the story of life. Thank you.
Mr. Gary Jones. Hey, Gary. Gary and I go way back. Gary is a Shaw player. For those of you who know about the Shaw players, let me have a hand for him. Yeah. I'm the artistic director for the Shaw Players still, and we still doing plays in Raleigh. Gary Jones started his acting career with the Laverne Players in Raleigh, and later studied at Shaw University. Has a BA in theater from Shaw University. And Jones has appeared in Living Fact, which is one of the plays of our season, and also he performed the National Ensemble Theater play with Sam R. Williams called Conversations on a Dirt Road. And he was also in The Waiting Room. He holds a BS degree at Shaw University and also an MBA from the University of Phoenix. He currently hosts his own radio show, and you have to listen to it. It's a syndicated radio show called Get With The Program. Tonight, presented to Gary Jones for your outstanding accomplishments in radio broadcasting, a Outstanding Achievement Award. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.
Gary Jones.
Well, once again, I'd like to thank Ken for allowing me to perform tonight. I thank everybody for coming out. People look wonderful, and thank you for supporting the arts. So give yourself a round of applause for supporting Black art. Again, thank you so much, Ken. I really appreciate this. I didn't know this was happening, but you got me on this, so thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Listen, all of you in your programs got a little envelope like this, and it's for your donations. And we can use your donation because you know venues do cost a little money. But we want to bring you the finest entertainment. And one of the things about Agape is that we want to bring new plays by African American playwrights. We also do plays by African American playwrights that are published. And one of them is by P.J. Gibson. And it's called Living Fact. It's going to be at the North Carolina. This is the first play of Agape Theater season. We're doing it in cooperation with the North Carolina Central University Department of Theater, where I also teach, and the Arts and Humanities program. And it's about this family that came about some money mysteriously from a bank robbery, and they have to decide whether to give the money back. And so we're going to see a scene from Living Fact right now.
Ooh, wee boo. Boy, you sure looking together. Oh, where you get all that stuff from?
Oh, you like it?
You sure look together. Bad.
Candy, stop lying to that boy. Now, boo, go on and get home before my mama sees you looking like a wild clown.
Mama, you so old-fashioned.
Now, go on and get, boo. The Lord didn't give this money to be wasting it on clothes like that. Now, go on and get it before my mama sees you and she has a heart attack. Go on and get it now, and don't you come back until you change them clothes.
But David told me to wait.
Go on and get it before my mama comes out. Lordy Lord. Woo. Now, don't you get upset. Don't you look fine?
Thank you, Miss Lady.
Where'd you get all them pretty things from? Ooh, and look at your hair. Oh, well, come here, let me see you. Mama, don't fool that boy. I don't don't know who's more old-fashioned, Biddy, you or the great-grandmother of Methuselah.
Well, I picked these up today, you know. They were on sale.
Oh, I sure wish I could wear me some nice, fine things. I could style my way all the way up to heaven. And even through them old dry church meetings you got me to go to. Well, turn around and let me see you. What color drawers you got on?
Pink silk. And I got a diamond-studded jockey strap on, too.
Oh, you want to see it? Well, sure enough. Yes, I want to see it. Boy, you don't stop acting like a wild town.
What is all this commotion about?
Now, get in here and straighten out some of this craziness.
What's wrong? And son, what's wrong with your head?
Oh, tell him it look good, Daddy.
Calvin, this house is going crazy. I'm telling you. Oh, don't listen to Biddy. She don't know what you're talking about. Mama, don't you act like that. No, you act like you're going to upset me today. Now, don't upset me, Biddy.
What is it? And what's all that noise coming from the back?
My stereo.
Stereo? Girl, you don't go turn that jukebox music off.
Okay. But don't get so excited like Mama did.
Lord, I better sit on down. Don't look like I'm going to see my programs today.
All right, calm down, settle down, talk to me. But let's make it quick. I got another job to get to.
Calvin, we get home this evening, and Candy is writing and hollering about this new stereo. And it's a pretty thing, too. And then Mama go up to her bedroom, and she finds this brand new TV set. Oh, Magic Light. We get this new thing, and we don't know how or why it even got here. I done told you, Biddy. The Lord works in mysterious ways. His wonders to perform.
Amen.
This whole mess. This stuff doesn't belong to us. You know, it pains me to know that I went through labor giving the world such an ignorant child.
Hush, boy. Hello. Yes. He isn't here. Uh-huh. I'll let him know. Good night. That was David Lee's girlfriend in Georgia. She wanted to say thank you for the money and that she was going to use it to fly down here and pick up the engagement ring.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. Oh, my God, done it again. Manna from heaven.
Where did David Lee get all this money from?
I don't know, Calvin. I just don't know. When the boy went to college, he probably got a job that finally paid off. Mama. Oh, don't mama me. This is such foolishness I ain't never heard of in my life.
Me neither.
Boy, would you hush? I hope nobody saw you come in here looking like that because I thought you lived here or something.
I stayed right next door.
And you stay on your side of the sewer in that monkey suit. Where did you get all these cold money from anyway?
Well, I guess I'll be heading out now. Tell David I'll try to wait for him.
Calvin, I believe Boo knows something. Oh, me?
Oh, I don't know nothing.
Wait, son.
Yes, my dear.
I don't hear nobody calling you.
Right now, my dear.
Wait, son.
I guess I'll check y'all folks later.
I said, wait.
I guess I got a little time to check. Want something, sir?
Now I want you to sit down here and explain to me what all this mess is about.
What mess?
Are you going to answer me, son?
I don't understand, sir.
Look, listen, and listen good. I done worked too hard to provide for this family in a good Christian way for something to just come in and mess it all up.
Lord, no, Calvin, what is you talking about? Hush, Mama.
Where did you get all this money from?
What money?
Son, if you don't quit clowning with me right now, I'm finna snatch all those dreads out of your head.
Don't you touch that boy.
Mary, how about you go sit on the toilet?
You just wait a minute, Mr. Calvin Ray Carter. Now, I don't take that. Now, you can go out there and you can talk to them elders how you please, but up in here, you gonna respect me. Please, Mama.
Look, I handled it. Mary, I apologize. I didn't mean it. I got a little upset.
Well, what is it to get upset about? Y'all act like Calvin went and robbed the bank yesterday or something. Oh, Lord, have mercy, my oh, Jesus. No, my son done took the life of sin. He done took the raise of Satan's character and gonna let him to the
Oh, woman, hush. Not my boy.
If I knew sending him to college would have let him lead a life of sin, I never would have stopped him, never would have.
Control yourself, honey. It's gonna be all right.
I believe you know something, don't you? See, he knows something.
Don't worry, honey. He's gonna give it back. Every cent. Even if he has to go go to jail for it. I'll make sure he get it all back.
Lordy Mo, y'all, God made some of the silliest niggas when he made y'all.
This is my friend Chris Glover, and he's a playwright like I am, and he wrote this wonderful play that we're doing in December, and I'm gonna let him tell you about it.
Thank you, Mr. Henry. Christmas time. For many, this is a spiritual time of reflection, while for others, this is a time for Santa Claus, Christmas parties, gift giving, and enjoying bragging rights for the best decorated house in their neighborhood. It is also a time for many of us to open up our hearts and wallets to those who are less fortunate than ourselves, without giving any regard to the precious to the previous 11 months that these same folks had to go without prior to our self-ordained annual offering. In my stage play, Where Are You Christmas?, we are introduced to a man by the name of Kofi Green, who at one time had a 6-figure annual salary and a 7-figure financial portfolio. He enjoyed the finer things in life, including $1 million multi-level house in a gated community, drove the finest cars, and wore the finest clothes money could buy. However, after a series of personal tragedies, everything he worked so hard for was wiped away. His collection of fine cars that took him anywhere he wanted to go had been replaced by tired feet and worn-out shoes as his primary mode of transportation. The trash can that sat outside his $1 million house now provides him shelter and his daily source of nutrition. In Where Are You Christmas?, Kofi's past must come to fruition in order that his present may be lived in such a way that brings him the peace and happiness he thought he had prior to the demise of his accumulated wealth. Although Kofi's story isn't unique, he, like many of you, thought something like this could never happen to him. Once you've heard his story, I'm sure you will agree with the old saying, one can never say never. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Charlie James as Kofi Green. Where Are You Christmas?
You know how to position yourself inside. So, you may ask, how did I get from living a good life to a life of homelessness? It's kind of a long story, so I'll give you the short version. Pharmaceutical company that I work for, I gave them my all for over 20 years. Was moving their headquarters to Japan, and I was given 2 choices. Either move with the company to a land that's unfamiliar, or stay close to home and take a mediocre separate package. Too much pride in my world turned completely around. My parents was involved in a devastating house fire that almost took their lives, along with just about everything they worked so hard for. Because of the instability of their health, I took the severance package with hope that their condition would improve and that I would soon find employment in my field, something close to it. Unfortunately, there wasn't very many jobs available that afforded me the salary I needed to maintain the ongoing critical care service my parents needed on a daily basis. After a 6-month battle of ups and downs and multiple surgeries, my parents succumbed to their injuries and died 4 days apart from one another. By this time, I had depleted practically all of my financial resources, and the bank foreclosed on my dream home. Without a regular source of income, I couldn't get an apartment, and hotels were too expensive. Since being homeless, I come upon the local grocery store that gives me free coffee and sandwiches for doing all jobs like bringing in the shopping carts, sweeping, picking up trash in the parking lot, and other miscellaneous stuff 3 times a week. I used to love Christmas. But now it's just like any other ordinary day. A day of survival. Am I bitter? Not really. Because I know, despite my current set of circumstances, I can't imagine any one of you will be willing to take my place right now. So the next time you see someone or walk past someone that looks like me, try to look beyond what you see. Thank you.
That was Charlie James. Charlie is in the play that I co-wrote, which we are going to show you in just a few minutes. But first, another actress that's going to do a monologue for you was in a play that I directed, Dutchman. And we're going to be doing that again, Amira Baraka. And she's going to come out. Her name is Felicia Smith. And she also was in the play, You Ain't My Daddy. So right now, here's Felicia Smith.
Don't think I don't know how you men talk. All amongst your friends boasting and bragging in pool halls and bars. Talking about your conquest and all the things you made us do in those moments of passion and intimacy. Don't think I don't know, because I do. And don't try to tell me you're not like that you're different, because I know better. You're all the same. Young, old, black, or white, you're all deep down rotten and low. So don't try to tell me you're any different. I gave myself to you, and I was sincere. I didn't ask for anything in return. I haven't been pushy or selfish, and I tried to be discreet and at the same time honest. But that wasn't appreciated, was it? Instead of gratitude or appreciation, all I've gotten from you is humiliation and disrespect. And that's got to stop. I'm not somebody who just fell into your bed because she couldn't help herself. I'm not some old woman you're doing a favor for. I might be old, but I'm not that old. No. I have my energy, my strength, and my resources. I'm a woman with some position in this community. People respect me, and I demand the same respect out of you. Just because you're younger than me doesn't mean that you have the right to treat me that way. Especially when you know I love you so much. So what do you say? Why don't we start over? And this time, let it be with a new understanding. Please.
At this time, I would like to bring to the podium Ken Hinton, Rodney Johnson, and Chris Glover, writers of the hit gospel play, You Ain't My Daddy.
And when did we meet? It was like 2007, 2008. We were on a cruise, and this man was the cruise ship comedian on the cruise. And Rodney and I on that cruise sat down and talked about a play. And so he told me about his life. So You Ain't My Daddy is based on his life.
Yeah, Shakespeare said, tragedy comes from comedy. So they took my tragedy and turned it into a play. You ain't my daddy because I didn't want to tell y'all up front because I didn't want y'all to have a preconceived notion. But I've been married 3 times. 3 different women. And y'all probably said, what's wrong with you? Nothing wrong with me. I'm Adam. They were Lot's wife. So many people went to church, they get it. Come on, folks, don't be tripping. I'm just telling you, these are all jokes. Straighten up. You know, I'm just saying, they were Lot's wife. That's what's wrong sometimes. You know, women just don't listen to us. So I've been married 3 times. I've been married 9 years this time. I was married the first time because I got a girl pregnant and I wanted to do the right thing. The second time I got married, the Bible said that when you find a wife, you find a good thing. But the Lord wasn't talking to me that day because he had to talk to me. Because she was walking across that beach and I saw her. I said, man, she's fine. And I tried to holler at her. The Lord said, Rocky, that's not the one for you. I said, I'm not asking you right now. And then the third time I got married because I realized that I had to wait. And my wife that I have now is very wonderful. And I have 5 children. I have 2 biological children, and then I have 3 children I raised in marriage. So that's where the comedy came from, because at the end of the day, my ex-wife said that my travel was the downfall in our marriage, and I said, well, then you should have put that Mercedes back on the showroom floor and drove that Toyota Corolla like I wanted you to, and then we wouldn't have had all these problems. So that's where it comes from. It comes from real life.
So the premise is that it doesn't take a biological father to be a dad, right? We raise children all the time. So I got stuck in writing, and so I had the premise. So then I met Mr. Chris Glover, and he took it home for us.
When Mr. Hinton gave me the idea, I can relate. I've been a step-parent for 30 years, but she married, like my wife is in the audience, my second marriage. And so it was a story that touched my heart. It went through, 26 rewrites, several lunches, which I paid for, and several meetings, but God bless Mr. Hinton for his patience. God bless you for your comedy. And it's amazing how God brings the right people up at the right time. So as a result of this collaborative effort, I am privileged to say that I was part of this project with these 2. And I'm looking forward to doing it again very soon.
Okay, so we're presenting this play at the Garden Performing Arts Center in March. We're talking with them about a date. You will know about it. I think it's going to be March 10th, but we're working on that. The other amazing thing about this project is one of my students from Shaw University who graduated and got his doctorate degree is in San Antonio, Texas, and is a music minister and putting out CDs and wrote all the original music for the play. All the original music. And what we're going to show you tonight is one of the songs that he wrote, and it was a title track, You Ain't My Dad.
Hate is what I feel for
I've been in the back with her talking for the last couple hours, and she has impressed me with her ability and her vernacular and her ability to grasp the scene. She's going to come and do a monologue. Please welcome Annabelle Clark.
Yeah, I certainly do. Well, I'm a cook. Baby, take a picture with me so I can show Santa Claus what I want for Christmas. Yes, sir. Ooh, yeah. Thank you, baby. You is kind. You is important, and you is smart. Thank you for the help. Yes, sir. Woo. Yeah, that's right. I am the founder and CEO of Cougar Incorporated. I go through the country, baby, recruiting young men between the ages of 40 and 50 with such lines as, excuse me, baby, but do you have the time? They start looking at their watch. I mean, for me. Such lines as, excuse me, baby, but I'm new in town. Can you give me directions? They say, directions where, miss? I mean, to your place. You know lines like, baby, I want to know if you have any dates. They say, dates? I mean, with me, can you have one? Things like that, baby. I'm just kidding. I've been in love with the same man for about 30 years. I just hope my husband don't find out about it. No, I'm old. I'm old, and I knew I was old when me and my teeth stopped sleeping together. Yes, sir. I went to see my son the other day. My grandbaby came over there to the door and said, Grandma, look, my teeth are out coming out. I said, mine are too when I go home. You know, I know I'm old, but that's okay, honey. I love life. I was married to a man by the name of Richard Clark, and that man used to get on my last nerve. He used to say a whole lot of ugly four-letter words to me, words I didn't want to hear, words like cook, dusting. I didn't want to hear that, but the man had a good sense of humor. I remember him telling me about this lady getting on the bus, and the lady had a baby in her arm. The bus driver said, lady, I don't mean no harm, but it's the ugliest baby I ever seen in my life. That woman was so mad, she went back to the back of the bus, flopped down beside this man. This man said, lady, what's wrong with you? She said, that man just insulted me. He said, that man ain't got the right to insult you, lady. You go on back up there and give him a piece of your mind. I'll hold your monkey for you. Yes, honey. But he told me about these three ladies, honey. These three ladies died and went to heaven. St. Peter met him at the gate. He stopped. Before you come in here, you got to know the one rule. They said, what's that? Don't step on the ducks. Well, let me tell you, the first day, the first woman stepped on the ducks. St. Peter appeared, poof. Next thing you know, he handcuffed that woman to an ugly man. And he said, that is your punishment for stepping on the duck. Well, the second lady didn't ever step on the duck until one day, she stepped on the duck. Poof, St. Peter appeared. And honey, he handcuffed her to an ugly man. And he said, that's your punishment for stepping on the duck. Well, the third lady didn't ever step on the duck. Years went by, she didn't step on the duck. Then one day she was out there and St. Peter appeared. Poof. He said, you never stepped on a duck. And here, he attached her to a beautiful, handsome young man. And that lady said, I don't know why, I don't know what I did for you to do this to me. That man she attached me to, I don't know what you did, but I stepped on a duck. Yes, sir. And then he told me about these little boys playing one day. And one little boy said,
you do it? He said it's legal. You can make a whole lot of money in 5-10 minutes time. He said, tell me what it is. He said, when you go home, go to your dad and say, I know your secret. He said, that's all I got to do. He said, watch, you can make some money. So little boy went home and said, Daddy, I know your secret. Daddy said, boy, here's $10. Hush, don't you let your mama hear you say that. Hush. He said, oh, he was right. Let me go to mama, see if mama can give you some money. Hey, mama, I know your secret. Mama said, boy, you got to hush your mouth. Here's some $15. You go somewhere and sit down. He said, what minute? $25 within a 5-minute period? Who is that at the door? That's the mailman. I'm going to see if I can say it to him. Went to the mailman. I said, what's the mailman? I know your secret. Mailman said, come on here, son, give me a hug. By the time they tell you who I am. Now, God rest my husband's soul. He's gone on the glory now. I got real lonely. So I decided to go to a pet store to get my pet. Walked in the pet store and I saw this frog. And he went to eyed me. I said, did that frog this week his eyed me? So I went a little closer. That frog said, pick me, lady. If you pick me, you won't regret it. I said, oh my goodness, I'm talking to the frog. I better hurry and get him. So I got that frog, put him in a jar, and we were riding down the road. That frog looked up at me and said, lady, you take me out of just a jar and kiss me, you won't regret it. So I'll turn that car to the side of the road. Took that frog out of that jar and kissed that frog, and he turned into a handsome young man. And he, in return, kissed me. Guess what I turned into? Huh? No, the first hotel I could find. My name is
Paula has been seen in independent films and local commercials. Yes, and we want to honor you tonight and give you an Outstanding Achievement Award for being a performer and a woman of excellence.
I just want to thank my mother and father for having me. I'm so thankful for this opportunity, and I'm so thankful for Miss Sheila, who made sure that I did my first commercial. She called me, I was teaching one day, said, can you talk? And I thank you for that opportunity. And I thank you for the opportunity to being in plays. Thank you so very much. God bless.
Paula, I'd like to ask, let me just tell you, it's only about 10 minutes left in the show, so you're getting close to the end. I know you've been there for a while, and y'all blessing me for staying and enjoying this entertainment. So I would like Mariah to come out right now, and Paula, come on back. The last show of the season is going to be at the Burning Coal Theater. It's going to be April 27th through April 27th, 28th, and 29th at Burning Coal. And these two actors are in the show, and it's called Steal Away. And you play
Tracy Ada. You know, baby, I have amnesia right now. I'm having a brain. What's my name? What was it? Huh? Oh, honey, you knew it was a color. That's right, blue. That's right.
So we're going to see a real short scene from Steal Away, which we done at North Carolina Central University. next season and bring it back for you. But there's a scene in the play. Let me tell you, the play is about a cast that comes together to do a play about lynching. And you have a black cast and a white cast. And they get to arguing about the script. And the director says, nobody's really seen a lynching before. And Sheldon says, I have. So he proceeds to tell them a story about what he saw. I think it was a Saturday. Yeah. Because otherwise I'd have been out in the fields with my mom and my pa, the cotton field. My mama said that I was, too young to go out there, but the younger ones was out there all the time. I was at home with my grandma. I was standing in the window, watching the lilac bush waving in the wind. And I heard bees from it, something like bees. And it was screaming and hollering. Oh, how they were screaming and hollering. And my grandmama, she said, come on, child. She tried to pull me and put me into that dark closet, and I didn't want to go. And I heard it. Wagon wheels bumping over this wet and stony road. Chains clashing. Men hollering and screaming. And the horses dragging along. And he was beating the horses. Ha! Ha! And then I saw it. Dragging along, bumping along on the wet, stony road. Something that was stretched out. A burnt, naked thing. A burnt, naked thing that was once a man. And I tried to scream, but no sound came out. I was just a screamer, but no sound. That was Mr. Morris that they had killed. You know Mr. Morris. He come over our house laughing and joking and brought a fruit cake that his wife had baked. Everybody said it was crazy. Said he'd speak his mind, talking back to white folks. I left that place when I was 17 years old. I don't ever want to live in a place like that. So, what we do?
Get in. Or reason not to need our basis, beggars, and the poor things superfluous. Allow nature more than nature needs, man's life as cheap as beast. If only to go warm or gorgeous, why nature needs not without gorgeous wares, which sacredly keeps me warm, but for true need. You see me standing here, a man full of grief is age, wretched and both. If it be you that stare these daughters' hearts against their father, fool me not so much to bear it tamely, but touch their noble anger. Shakespeare, King Lear, public school, baby. How about it for you, bud? fabulous job, and I have to say so myself. You have been magnificent. I think you ought to be on the Grammy Award show and be the house band for the Grammys. And my dear, you can sing to me anytime. Matter of fact, later on this evening, if you can just sing, just write something and sing for me. Y'all have been a fantastic. You know what? Y'all, I got to say, you started off slow. You know you did. In the beginning, you started off slow, but you came to life because there was so many talented people. And if you don't mind, I would like to just wrap it up like this and have all the people that were on tonight's production to come out. All the talented people that sang and did monologues and played. Would you please come out for curtain call, for final vows, and you can show your appreciation for the talented people that put together this wonderful production under the leadership of Mr. Ken Hinton, the band New Vibe. For God has come on down the love train, feel on the rail, come out here, down the love train. I've been your master of ceremony. My name is Rodney Johnson. I'll be out in the lobby trying to get gas money to get back to Atlanta. I have a book that just came out on Amazon called 50 Toasts and a Piece of Toast. It's only $15 and I have a DVD. It's an hour and 49 minutes. It's $10. And Mr. Hinton said I can sell it because it's part of my fee. I'm going to turn the microphone over to him right now. Y'all have been a wonderful crowd. We thank y'all for hanging in there with us. Thank you from Atlanta, Georgia. Good night.
I have two people I want to recognize. Would Sheila Council Wilson come out? And LaWanda Lee. LaWanda Lee is Words of Essence. What year is now is your gospel talent show?
It's the 12th annual.
And I'm a judge every year. I've been there from the very beginning. And Sheila Council Wilson.
I am with Warm Lyrics, which is a night of entertainment with positive lyrics, and everything that we do that night is positive, from dance to music. This band that you're hearing is actually my band. At least that's what I like to say. So, and Ken had an opportunity to be there in June, and we also have been co-judges with LaWanda as well.
So Sheila.
And so we have one class award to present, and this award is to someone who is dynamic. She is a powerhouse. She is beautiful on the inside and out. And you know, if you knew her, you knew her. You would just fall in love with her. I mean, she's just phenomenal. So anyway, this particular lady is actually you.
And it says for outstanding achievements in warm lyrics. And the last, give her a hand, please. And this last one is presented to LaWanda Lee Anderson for outstanding achievement with Words of Essence and a Woman of Excellence. Ms. Wanda Lee. Thank you for supporting Agape. Remember, you got the envelopes. Put a little something in it for us, and thank you for coming and enjoy your night. God bless all of you. Thank you.